Here we are at Barnabus in the city centre of Manchester, just on the edge of the gay village on Bloom Street. And this is our Beacon drop-in centre, the place where we serve the homeless and the vulnerable in our city 5 days a week with hot food, clothing and showers. We've been here since, well, in this building since the year 2000, but the charity is in its 25th year of doing this valuable work. Here we are in the entranceway. Everyone we serve comes through here, and we serve breakfast 5 days a week and dinner 5 days a week. Most importantly, our guys get a cooked meal in a warm, safe environment. In the mornings, we charge 50p for the cooked breakfast, which isn't about making any money. It's all about helping our guys and girls make a good choice with the money that they do have. Dinner tends to vary depending on what has been donated, but our guests can expect anything from lasagna to curry, all prepared, fresh every day. We're open and we're busy. We have tables out here and we serve the food down here, and we serve it from our kitchen. So if I walk you through here. So here we are in Barnabas's kitchen here in the Beacon. This is the place where we serve anywhere up to 90 people on a morning and our breakfast drop-in. So everybody will come to the hatch and they'll get tea and coffee and hot chocolate, all for free. And they can have as much cereal as they like. Again, and toast that's free, but then the 50p cooked breakfast is usually an egg, fried egg, sausage, beans, chopped tomatoes and toast. And if we're really blessed and somebody's given us some bacon, then bacon will be on the menu as well. All the food that we serve is donated, so that's a mixture of people personally donating tinned goods and dry food to our basement in our support office, which is just a couple of doors away. We have to go out and purchase our fresh food, and that again comes through by people donating financially to us. And then we work with a charity called Fair Share, who provide us with fresh food that comes through something called the Food Cloud, that work with some of the major supermarkets. So food that would normally be out of date, we get for free, and then we can serve that here. That can be anything from cakes and bread through to meat products like our bacon and our sausages.
And who works there at the moment then?
So at the moment we have a chef who's on our team, and she manages the kitchen and cooks an amazing cooked breakfast, and then everybody else is volunteers. So we can have, to run a session in the whole building, we need about 8 volunteers, and 3 of those will work in here alongside our chef. So this is our clothing store. Well, when we're open 5 days a week, we serve the guys and girls that come through the door with a full set of clothing, all donated from our generous supporters.
So what do the guys have to do in order to get clothing?
So they would come in, they would register at the door in every session. So when they come in, we record everybody who comes into the building. And then when they come up here, we run another list where we record their name, if they're having a shower, and we have 2 showers that are available, one which is a men's only and one's a unisex. And alongside that, we then record whether they have clothing, blankets, or toiletries, and then everything is supplied in here, and they can have one set of everything. So set of trousers, set of t-shirt, coat, underwear, and they can also pick up some toiletries as well.
And how often can they come and get a new set of clothing?
They can come as often as they need, and that's the question we'll always ask, is what do you need? And sometimes we know some people take things that they don't necessarily need, but often that just filters it through, and they'll take what they need that day. And obviously if you're living on the streets and you're wet and you're cold, then a fresh set of clothes makes a huge difference. So we're never going to turn anybody away who needs that.
Do you find you have more male visitors than female?
Yeah, we serve 90% of our clients are male.
Why is that, do you think?
Mixture of reasons. I think if women find themselves sleeping rough, I think families and authorities do step in quicker. There is a majority a male problem around it, and also and this is not always the case, but there can be children involved with women, and obviously there is a duty of care that legally obliges the authorities to step in earlier than they would do with single men. So I think, yeah, that's probably the majority of the reason why. We opened the medical suite when we refurbished the Beacon in 2015, and our nurse joined our team in September 2016. Every day we are seeing 5 or 6 people per session who are coming in and getting the help that they desperately need and accessing the NHS. Doing sort of basic medical care, so dressing wounds, foot care, that's a big issue for the guys. when it gets really wet, and foot issues are a big problem. She also signposts to some of the other medical services in our city, including the Urban Medical Village, who are the GP practice for those without a fixed address. So she works closely with their outreach team and signposts people over there and registers people in here. And health and well-being and a medical aspect to our work has always been a part of Barnabus. Since our very early days, 25 years ago, when we actually started out on a double-decker bus, that bus had a medical suite and there were doctors and nurses who used to come and volunteer on there. And this room really was a real passion of our founders, Peter and Beryl Green, who really wanted to see Barnabus really step out in that area to provide that medical care for those who are vulnerable and on the streets, who wouldn't maybe normally access that or find it difficult to get to a GP practice or even to a hospital. So to come here where we have somebody who's on team who can provide that is really important to us as a charity and to the guys who come in off the streets.
So apart from foot problems, what's the majority of issues you face within this environment?
There's a lot of injuries, cuts and wounds that guys pick up. Can be drug related or just from living in a rough environment. A lot of chest infections, a lot of lung issues. Again, our nurse is able to prescribe some basic medication as well, so we can do a bit of that.
Do you offer the flu jab?
Yeah, so we have a flu jab clinic coming up in a couple of weeks' time. A lot of the people who are on the streets are already registered with the Urban Medical practice, but we are seeing the ones who aren't accessing that because it's here where they come for their breakfast and where they come for their showers.
So would you say that people who attend the breakfasts here are more likely to seek medical advice in this environment rather than go to a drop-in or an A&E?
Yeah. It's easier because it's here, it's where they know, and lives are chaotic, so days, times, appointments, very difficult to keep. So the fact that we have somebody on site who can offer them that instant advice, yes, we may still signpost them to an appointment, but their initial contact is here and we can actually assess people on a basic level, but it really helps that we're on the same site as a drop-in, yeah. So this is our wet room, one of our showers here at the Beacon. We can serve anywhere up to 15 showers in our drop-in sessions. It's a really nice wet room experience for the guys. You may notice it's quite blue in here, and one of the reasons for that is these lights actually restrict the ability to find your veins, which is important if we're trying to help our guys not take drugs in a private space like this. It's hot water, it's running for about 2.5 hours. Obviously we need to pay those bills, so and that's done by the generous donations of our supporters, again, who help pay our utility bills to make this happen.
Yeah. So what is the grand plan for this centre?
We've already extended and we're already full, so the demand is going up all the time. It's not something we want, not something we're particularly excited about in our kind of area. You know, when people say, are you getting busier? That's actually a bad sign, but the truth is we are getting busier. So yeah, we'd love to expand further, provide more services. We see homelessness as a journey, and that journey often takes people from the streets into our drop-in centre, into temporary accommodation and supported accommodation. But the missing piece can often be that when we put somebody into a private tenancy, they get lonely, they get overwhelmed and they can't cope. Just recently, we've taken on our new resettlement worker, brand new post. Amy's doing a great job in that role, and she is somebody who's helping break that cycle of homelessness, keeping people in their tenancies and helping them move forward away from the streets long term. If you would like to volunteer with us, then do get in touch. Email volunteer@barnabasmanchester.co.uk, or you can give donations, food, clothing, toiletries, financial gifts. All really help us in our work to end homelessness in Manchester.